Hey everyone, Metal Shop Steve back again. And if you remember a couple of videos ago, and actually if you've seen the official trailer to my channel, you know that this year I'm kind of calling it the year of thrash. I'm going to explore my love of thrash metal a little bit, get into some of the stuff I love, we'll rank some things, talk about some things. And what I really want you to do is share with me your favorite thrash bands, albums, things like that, maybe things that are a little lesser known. Quick shout out, I just got my new Burning Witches shirt in the mail, direct from overseas. This one I was having a hard time finding in the US shops. And I'm going to see Burning Witches this summer when they finally come to the US, so very excited. Anyway, on to the thrash. And I have the first of, I'm actually going to post 2 album reviews today. Not brand new, but the newest album from each of these bands. So first of all, this video, I'm going to talk about the newest album from Overkill. Now, I have on record here 2019 is when this came out, so maybe we're working on a new Overkill album at the moment, which would be awesome. But this one, anyway, 2019, The Wings of War. So, I'll just tell you a little bit about the album, some of my favorite songs, things like that. So, the opening track, which is Last Man Standing, kind of has an industrial vibe to start out. We're not talking like full-on Ministry or anything like that, but just a little bit of an industrial feel, and then it launches into the thrash, and it's really good. It's like boom, it starts out and it just starts blowing things away. And so for an Overkill album, keep in mind this is not Horoscope, this is not Years of Decay. It is new, and it's going to sound new. It's going to sound a little bit different from that really early thrashy stuff. But the good news is you've still got a few of the original members here recording, including the thing that really makes the band, I think, stand out would be Blitz on vocals. It's cool, you can go by one name, Blitz. So the whole album is very bassy, riffy. It's pounding, so a lot of that lower end backbeat kind of stuff is driving this album along with the thrashiness. But I will say that overall this is a less thrashy album. It certainly has its share of thrashers, but it's more mid to up tempo rather than just straight thrash. And I'm not taking any issue with that at all. I don't have any problems with that. Just let you know kind of where it stands. So I'm going to go through some of the songs now that I find that I like the best on this album. I mentioned Last Man Standing. I'm usually always going to give credit to the opening track on an album if it rocks, because I find that that's the best way to really get you involved in the album, is to just hit you right away with something that's awesome. So Last Man Standing, it's a burner. And one of the handful on this album that are really truly thrashy. I want to give a quick mention of the song Distortion. Not a thrasher. This one actually clocks in around 8 minutes long, and it's more of a grinder. But it's a completely different feel from anything else on the album. It's even a little bit slower tempo than some of the other stuff, but just thought I'd mention that. One of my other favorites, A Mother's Prayer. And I wasn't really sure what to think when I first saw the title. I thought, maybe this is going to be another kind of slowdown type of thing, but not so. It really, really features the drumming at the beginning of the song. The intro to the song, the opening, is just drums, 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 and fast. Really great, aggressive, fast drumming. So one of the many places on the album where the drumming really stands out. Next up, and I laugh a little bit because Overkill isn't really known as one of those thrash bands that likes to be jokey. There are a lot of those kind of bands out there in the thrash world that like to sing about beer and partying and all that kind of stuff. Overkill generally pretty much keeps it straight, but the song Welcome to the Garden State is it's their ode to their home state of New Jersey, complete with an opening sample of a little Sopranos conversation, which I found kind of interesting. And then they talk about all the stuff that they love about New Jersey. So there you go. If you're a person, if you're from New Jersey, you will certainly appreciate this. If not, still cool anyway. And also, it's a thrasher. So one of my more favorite songs on the album, all tongue-in-cheek stuff aside. There you go. And then the last song I have down here as one of my top songs from the album is called Out on the Roadkill. Really comes up later, a lot later in the album, toward the end. And this one has some tempo changes in it. So it's not straight thrash. It's kind of a mix of everything showcasing that they're showcasing on the album. So you start out with kind of a slower beginning to the song, and then you pick up to a little bit of that thrashiness in there. Not full-on balls to the wall thrashy, but thrashiness, thrashy-ish, what we could say. And then you get kind of a mid-tempo to close out that song. Overall, great, solid album. Is it a great thrash album? I don't know. It's a good thrash album. It's a really good metal album. So that's what I can say about it. Certainly worth a listen. I enjoyed it. I'm certainly going to keep rocking this album. But again, if you're looking for Years of Decay or something like that, this isn't it. But you're going to hit home with that familiarity with the vocals and some of that thrash here and there. So overall, good album. Go check it out. And coming up next, the next video should be right below this one. I'm going to talk about another thrash band that's been working pretty hard over the years. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.